Hello everybody, I'm back again. Another short video. We're going to talk about power supply. As I talk on ham radio and sometimes CB, 10 meter, 11 meter, 2 meter. So I got my license to talk on ham radio in 2016. I've had my license 6 years. First radio was a Yaesu radio, and I was trying to think what that was. Can't remember the model number. It's made back in the 80s, a Yaesu radio for 2 meter. Put out 25 watts. Mobile radio. Had it at the house. I needed a power supply. So I got on eBay and bought the first one I found. Put out 13 amps. It shut off. It wouldn't put out enough to carry the Yaesu 25 watt output. So I went looking around for a power supply and I bought this one. You see how big it is. Puts out 19 amps. So it carried enough power. So I later bought a Yaesu 2900. Puts out 75 watts. Actually bought 2 more of those radios. 75 watts output power. And it carried it. And I powered up 3 or 4 CB radios and the Anytone 10 meter only ham band radio, and I powered up a Linco DX70 all band radio. So with the 2 ham radios, a Linco and the 3 CB radios and the Anytone all powered up and on, I can still talk on the 75 watt Yaesu 2900 on 2 meter with this power supply. For 6 years, and it finally crapped out. Radio Shack. Had a Radio Shack here in my town. It was going out of business, closing the store. This was on clearance. It was $70. Got it on clearance for $20, $21. I actually left it and walked away and went to a pawn shop or 2 and looked around and couldn't find anything else. And I went back and I bought it for $21 on clearance, and it was $70. It served me well for 6 years. Last weekend, had a buddy call me. He wanted to test out our ham radios. On my phone, I was talking, and I turned this power supply on. It sounded like a 22 rifle. Went pop, and went bad. I don't know if it had a fuse blowed or what, but so I got on eBay. I bought this used, and just a minute ago I was on Google trying to figure out the date and the year it was made. I don't know. It might have been made in the 70s or 80s, but it works. It powers up. I turned it on. I used a tester and I tested it. The one I showed you was 19 amp. This says 17 amp constant 20 amp. Not sure what that means, but I do know a 13 amp won't carry my radios. That 19 amp I just showed you does. So this is 17 amp constant 20 amp. Very heavy. This thing weighs about 20 or 30 pounds. I'm trying to find the date when it was manufactured, and I thought it had tubes in it. So I took my light on my cell phone, put it on top, shine it through these holes on top. Couldn't find no tubes in it. I believe it's transistor. I don't believe it has tubes in it. So I got it on eBay for $65, and power ports are on the front, same as the one I just showed you. Big difference in the size. Big difference. Big difference in the size. And this one has a heat sink on the back. I'm not sure what these things are. Has a fuse. It says use 6 amp only. I pull that fuse out. It's good. Plug this up. It powered up. Haven't hooked it to my radio yet. So the previous power supply be so tiny to last 6 years, and this old vintage power supply should last me a long time. Whether you're talking on ham radio, CB, it don't matter. So I'm going to share this video around in one Facebook group I created called Ham Radio New to the Hobby. Ham Radio New to the Hobby. I created that group. I'm going to share this video there in that group. For any newcomers, you need to know about power supplies. 13 amp ain't big enough. You need at least a 19 amp or 20 amp. Please subscribe to my channel. Click like on the video. I'll be back with something else. Camping, fishing, cooking. I'll be doing something. Thank y'all for watching.